How come every week in this league there's always controversy? Stay humble, Darby.
Yeah, and this time,
Gabby's gonna be ready.
and the refs have been warned. The refs have been warned. If they do shenanigans,
I was tweeting Premier League. I was tweeting PGMOL.
yellow cards, red cards, penalties.
I enjoy watching Champions League games.
Yeah.
Not only has now galvanized this team, it was nice to kind of be there in the stadium on a match day and meet some new gunners, Maning gunners.
Hello, everyone. Gunners around the world. We're back. We've got H-Dub in the airwaves.
Yes.
And I'm Fabio as well here. We have so much to, I don't know if we should say discuss or lament, rant. Ay. H, where do we even begin, man?
I think it's
where do we even
elephant
begin?
in the room. I think it's referees. Yeah, I mean it's the Premier League dubbed as the greatest league in the world.
Yeah.
With the best players in the world. Rich history with a lot of great players that have played in this league. But, I think until the referees stop becoming the center of the show, let me put it this way. Controversial decisions, I think, will always happen. I don't want to put it as in controversy will never happen. It will always happen. It always has in football or in any sport. Referees are human. And I want to make it clear now before we get into this that even if there is abuse against referees or like any sort of, people stalking referees, things like that, completely wrong. No one should ever do that. And whoever does that should face the penalty for it or whatever that may be, right? But I really think that being, dubbed the greatest league in the world or one of the greatest leagues in the world with the amount of money that gets put into the league, PR and amount of like TV rights that they sell all around the world, big business, right? So you'd expect them to also make the effort, not only the TV rights, but also the fans that are paying and going to watch these games at the stadium. Some of these fans also, their life savings, football is everything. Like they get paid and, that money goes towards season tickets for that season. Some of them even take their kids because they've been long life supporters and their families have been long life supporters of these clubs and they go watch them. To have referees kind of ruin certain games or put in certain decisions that kind of alter the result of certain games or the play of certain games, like 10 against 11 or 9 against 11, is a big problem. And you think that now that we've added technology, right? Because before the referees didn't have technology. You would think that now that we have technology, as in VAR, video assisted referee, there would be, again, referees make mistakes and that's okay. Like we kind of expect that, right? Like, not everyone, even in my job, like I make mistakes. Like a lot of people make mistakes in their job, right?
Man,
and I think for
but there's
referees,
mistakes and then there's mistakes, man. Yeah.
But I think for referees, VAR was created or is there to help them. Keyword help, right?
Yeah.
And I think not only Arsenal, but a lot of other clubs have also suffered to certain decision making by referees and not doing their jobs properly. And I want to not putting their jobs properly because I think being referee, you're already under a lot of pressure. You go through a lot of training. So VAR makes perfect sense. But then it baffles me when VAR doesn't work properly in this league that's dubbed the best league in the world. How come it works fine in other leagues? In the Champions League, it works great,
The Premier League always says it's the best league in the world. I don't understand how they have modernized, like the players. It used to be a closed league, only English, British players, guys from Scotland and Ireland. And then over time, they saw like, yo, these foreign players, they can add something to the game. The Premier League today is this global Goliath because the players went next level. The managers went next level. You know what I mean? Like Arsene Wenger, Arsene who, when he came in, foreign manager, people asking like, who's this foreign guy? What does he know about our football? No. That's in the 90s. Things have evolved. Nowadays, you look, it's mostly non-English managers, and people even complain, but it's because the Premier League is so good. You have the best players. You have to get the best managers. So I don't understand how they can. I don't even think they have the best British referees, which I think is crazy, just because I think they literally still have this like gang from the northern side of England. And that's like the majority of referees. I am willing to bet that if they went to Scotland, to the Scottish League, and they went to the Irish League, the Northern Ireland, like to Wales, they went even beyond that, right? Came to Europe. I know there was Brexit, but come on, they're still European. Just come across to the French League, Portuguese, Spanish, etc. Never mind the world. They would find incredible referees who are really good at their job and who would love to ref in the Premier League. But they won't do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like this gang.
No bias.
Yeah.
Because, if you're from, sorry to cut you off, but if you're from that area, like you're saying that Manchester,
yeah.
I use Manchester,
Newcastle, like Liverpool, like the northern
Leeds,
the north
kind of
members.
Yeah. Then, even though you don't, because sometimes, like, you put it this way, you could be refereeing a particular game. You don't support any of these teams, but you could have a bias, like an unconscious bias. Does that make sense? Like you've grown up around friends, around family members who support United, City, Liverpool, Everton, I don't know, Leeds, a lot of clubs from that region. Yeah. And you go and referee a game that's maybe a London club versus a club from Birmingham or Brighton, or that is fine because you're not from any of those areas. But then when you're refereeing a game where there's kind of like a Manchester City versus Tottenham or versus Chelsea or versus Arsenal, broaden your horizons a little bit. Are there referees in other parts of Britain that could possibly, possibly support Swansea City or Bristol City and, and have no bias on any club that's from like London or Manchester or Newcastle or wherever that may be.
Because people will act like, oh, it's nothing. But the truth is there is this unconscious bias and there is this rivalry. Like, both of us have been to the UK quite regularly. And man, we know that economically people already feel like it's like London versus like the North. There's not enough investment. The politics, there's vibes, everything. So even if referees were like impartial, they could still be affected by that. But the thing is, the referees for me, they're even incompetent. Do you know what I mean? Like Wolves last season, man, they should have sued. Like, maybe that's why this season they're like, like, let's give them something, man, because like we killed them last season.
That's something to touch on, actually. You mentioned Wolves, and we mentioned Wolves quite a bit here because of course the Arsenal game. But let's talk a little bit about Wolves. Gary O'Neill, who was their manager, right? Mm-hmm. You look at how many times Wolves were kind of unfairly treated last season, and you look at the outcome that they could have possibly been relegated. You look at the outcome that their manager lost his job. Yeah, man. He lost his job. He has to move. His family has to move. Like all of this stuff, you know what I mean? And who takes responsibility of that? Definitely won't be the refs, man. Because the refs, they won't even admit that they made a mistake yesterday, man. Exactly. They won't even admit that like that was the wrong call. So never mind. So there's people who are saying that like Arsenal or it could be Arsenal today, it could be Liverpool tomorrow. The thing is, people have a right to complain, especially in this case, because people are asking like, oh yeah, but actually it was actually 50-50. And I'll tell you now, I actually think that the tackle, it wasn't as clean. Let me be honest. It wasn't as clean. But there was no malice You know,
For
it
sure.
wasn't like he was intending to break a leg. So for me, it wasn't dangerous play. Was it reckless? I think so. It was a bit reckless. You know, if I've calmed down now. I've looked at it many times, angles, and was it a little bit reckless? I think it was a little bit reckless.
24 hours ago,
but
H-Dub was not thinking that, guys.
I wasn't. And that's why we needed to record on Monday. So I could calm down. I've never been, and honestly, I've never been so pissed off of a football game. I mean, I like we've been through the Mustafi era where mistakes have happened and you're like, whatever. But I've never been this pissed off, like
Man,
probably in a while for
was
football.
just laughing. Did you guys see me during the game? I was actually in disbelief because I was like, I promise you that if we were go and rewatch that card and look at the Wolves players, because they were not expecting a red card either. Do you know what I mean? And the ref just, and it was so quick. It's like just happened.
Even Doherty, he was expecting a yellow. Like he wasn't expecting him. He was even like, oh wow, like I'll give him a red.
And then what makes
like,
it worse?
Doherty could have
man.
Doherty could have milked that. Like he almost broke my leg and then red, you know. But he got right back up. You know,
and then VAR. I don't know why, but I've noticed recently, maybe it's like the new mandate by PGMOL that they need to be faster. But I've really noticed like this one, and with that Saliba didn't hit the ball hit Saliba. They're so quick now. It's like the VAR check is like 3 seconds, man. You know what I mean? Like what happened to like, they used to like the ref, something happened. He could have taken a second. He blew, take a second, then decide what card. He literally just blew red card immediately.
Yeah.
And then VAR was
so you can,
done.
if you read his lips, because someone put a tweet where you could read Michael Oliver's lips. He actually says red card. He actually does say red card.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's communicating with VAR. He actually does say immediately red card, takes it out, puts it, you know, no hesitation. So, you know, as a VAR, I don't know. I to be honest, I don't even know what the rules are anymore. You know, like you're saying, like they do it so fast. Because for me, as a video assistant referee, you'll be like, okay, he's told me it's a red card. What he's seen, he's telling me it's a red card. Okay,
let me watch.
You know,
and let me decide.
He's giving it. You know, he said red card and he's giving it. Obviously, he's giving it, right?
Yeah.
Players are complaining, whatever, and I'll be like, hey, look, Michael Oliver. Let's stall a little bit here. I want to just make sure and look over the footage again, different angles, just to make sure that, you know,
exactly
that we keep the red card, you know?
Yeah.
So keep stalling, tell the players to wait, keep the emotions, you know, in check. We don't need to, you know, get the game under control, man. You know, you don't want to give out yellow cards unnecessarily for these players. That's your job as a referee. Get the players under control. Especially the Arsenal players, because there's about like 6 of them around you. But anyways, we're checking the tapes, making sure, looking at the different angles. And then here comes the thing. Sometimes even the VAR, even through looking at it slow motion, normal motion, you might even still be in doubt where you'll be like, look, you're on the ground. What we see is this could be 50-50. You know, or whatever that may be. Yeah. Can you go and have a look at the screen?
Yeah.
And this is where our doubt is.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, take your time.
But nope, they're like, they want to, I don't know if it's like this authoritarianism or like this like culture of we are right. You know what I mean? Like, you know, those people who are just like rules are rules and they must be followed. You know what I mean? I feel like this guy is like, he said red, and the people who are in VAR, they cannot question him. They cannot like, it's like he's in charge of them because, you know, there's like seniority in PGMOL and Michael Oliver is like one of the big dogs there.
Him and Anthony.
So,
another one. There you go.
Another one. You know? And it's funny because those are the 2 that we probably have the most complaints about. And I wonder why. Because like Darren England and all those other guys at VAR, even if I feel like they're like so scared of just saying, listen, okay, on-field decision, red card. We are checking. It looks like, because I was checking the rules about this again, just to revise my own thing, you know, like I've got that rule book. I actually should advise all fans. It's really boring, but you can actually, there's an app with EFAB and you can literally go through all the rules. And, you know, for it to be a red card, it's not just about where the point of contact was. It's about like intent. It's about force. like the speed, like you have to see like proximity to the ball. Like there's so many more other factors that affect it. And Lewis Kelly, that is like the most obvious. It was so easy to see what he was trying to do. He was trying to do a
cynical
normal,
foul.
cynical tactical foul. That's a yellow card every day of the week.
Yep.
For him to not only get a straight red, now they won't even admit that, like, that means he would miss the next 3 games. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's only off there. He's off there and he will miss the next 3 games. Does that sound like the correct punishment for like what this like 18-year-old kid did in that split second of trying to like stop this guy from running? You know what I mean?
Stop an attack, which every team does.
Yeah. And dude, it was in their area. So if they had said like, yeah, he stopped a promising attack, yellow
Like
card.
80 yards
perfect.
from goal.
Yeah. And Doherty cannot run, man. He's not gonna make it there. But anyways, they're gonna say
Even
like,
if he could. It's
even
still
if he
too far.
could, Saliba would catch him. But anyways, these guys, man. But now they're like, no, serious
Serious foul play.
serious foul play. Like he's coming for the guy's ankle or Achilles heel. And in the same game, there was a worse foul.
Exactly.
But then the Wolves player gets a second yellow. So yeah, he got sent off. But now he's not gonna miss 3 games.
But
do you know what I
then
mean?
But you know what the crazy thing is that you get people that say that the tackle of Gomez is not high enough for it to be a red card. And I'm like, what?
Oh my
What are you talking? Like that one is even worse. He could have actually like broken the guy's like leg.
Yeah.
He literally like stood on him.
Yeah, that's not worse enough. Like, are they mad?
And this caused so much debate that even non-Arsenal fans, even fans, Man United fans, even Tottenham fans,
that's when you know.
That's when you know. You know, even Liverpool fans, like that's when you know, like this is outrageous. Because the thing is, if it's happened to us, it can happen to any one of you.
Yeah, and guys, you know what? Going forward in this podcast, when there's some crap happening to your teams, we're gonna also back you. We're gonna talk about these referees, man. We all in this together.
And that's why a couple of accounts and a couple of people say that there needs to be like fans almost need to come together as well, because PGMOL need to hear it. So this statement that they put out, basically saying that Michael Oliver is basically taking abuse. I think number one, I think anyone getting any kind of abuse, like I said at the beginning of this recording, foul should never happen to anyone or anyone's family member or institution, like for sure. You know, there's a line. You know, there's criticism, but then there's beyond that. And I think criticizing PGMOL and criticizing Michael Oliver, there is no problem in doing that, and people should.
I mean, otherwise, like, do you know what I mean?
You know,
Havertz was being hounded last week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arteta is getting hounded every day.
Yeah.
But we're not saying like you must threaten people's families. Of course, that's stupid. I don't think any rational person does that.
Like football, life is way too big than football. You know, like
if one of our listeners is like that, I think what you need to do, man, is just take like 2 days before you open your mouth and write on social media. Do you know what I mean? Because like
100%.
heat of the moment stuff, but you cannot be threatening people's families. That's not.
I was tweeting Premier League. I was tweeting PGMOL. I was angry, but not, you know, not there's a line, you know, and what I was saying was, you know, really like it's a farce, you know, like what is going on here? Right?
Listen, man, I was looking at the statistics, and I'm like convinced now that like Michael Oliver is like hates Arsenal, man. Because did you see that thing? Huh? Like he literally. There's been like now 8 red cards against Arsenal players, 0 against Man City players, right? And he's ref almost the same amount of
cards
games.
in 55
games
for Arsenal.
For Arsenal, man. You know, that's a high number of red cards.
That's a high number, yeah.
And then penalties.
And then when you go and look at the type of red cards he's getting, they've all been controversial.
They've all been ridiculous. Remember Martinelli against Wolves, like two yellows in the same play.
Martinelli against Wolves, yeah.
Like, oh, you made a foul. I give you 2 yellows. It's a red. I've never seen that, and we never saw it again. That's the thing. We just keep seeing things this season that we then never see again. That Declan Rice red card in the beginning of the season.
A second yellow. No one else has been sent off for second yellow.
We never saw it like that again.
They only got in yellows.
Yeah.
And we've seen players on yellows kick the ball away.
And nothing happens.
Even in the Arsenal Wolves game.
Yeah.
We saw Gomez kick the ball away.
Gomez, how many cards should the guy have had, man? You know what I mean? We're going back to the 90s when he had 3 yellow
Gomez was
cards
out of
to be
control.
sent.
Gomez was out of control.
Yeah. And then Saliba penalty with that thing that we got given. But check this out, because I was checking with Michael Oliver. So we have 24% chance that he will blow a penalty against us during any game. If you look at the statistics, 24% chance that he will blow a penalty against us.
High.
And that's very, even compared to every other team he's refed against, that is much higher. Do you know what I mean? Like we're talking like at least 9% higher than like any other team. And of course, the lowest would be Man City. No problem. No surprise there. Then red cards. Yeah. 8 against Arsenal, 0 against Man City, of course. And like everyone else, it's like 4 and, 3 here, la, la, la. But then yellow cards, I was actually like, no, dude, now this guy's got it now. Yellow cards, red cards, penalties. This guy, we are like the top team of all the teams he's refed over years. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like Arsenal fans do have a reason to be pissed off. And I would feel like if I was like working for Arsenal, it's time to write to PJ Mon and just say, listen, he's a great referee. Can he just go ref other games? And he should definitely never ref a Man City Arsenal game. Like that just makes no sense.
No. And also I think in general, I think the club should appeal the Lewis Skelly, and I think they will, especially because of the games coming up.
And guess what games are there? Newcastle and Man City. Only the club, like the city where he's born, is next door, right? But okay, like 10 minutes away. And then Man City, the club whose owner paid him to go to
his other
UAE.
employers.
Exactly, to UAE to go and ref a game. And I don't want to accuse him of corruption when I feel like incompetency can suffice. But I feel like there is incompetency, then there is
Where the
bias.
smoke, there's fire.
You know what I mean? And then so I'm like, dude, this is just getting too much now.
Where
like,
there's smoke, there's fire, man.
It's enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's already a bit dodge that these referees mid-season, not even end of the season, mid-season, go abroad to a country where that country basically kind of owns a football club.
Yeah. And that football club, it's not like that football club has a clean record with the laws. Not like they're being investigated for 115.
115.
No, not at all. No problem there.
No, nothing wrong there. Nothing to see here. So it's those people that say, why are Arsenal fans like so angry and so forth? I think it's because it's been happening to us many times this season. I'm not even
never mind last season.
I can bring out a whole Rolodex on the past seasons, but we're talking about this season alone. Like this season hasn't even finished. It's not even close to finishing.
Yeah. But I mean, I even do want to go back to the good old days with the amount of fouls Man United used to get away with, and people used to be like, no, there's no biasness. Arsenal is just crying and but it's proven now, right? It's being said. Refs did admit that they were influenced because they were scared of Sir Alex Ferguson. He was like an intimidating figure, in the North. Yeah. So this feels like Game of Thrones, man. You know what I mean? It's like these refs are like afraid and like the North remembers, but like it's time now to like, I think, diversify that ref group. They really need to go
serious
abroad and get some, and they need to go and get like, watch World Cup Champions League games. Freaking get one ref from South America, get a ref from dude.
I enjoy watching Champions League games.
Yeah.
Because the refereeing is on point.
Relax. It's so funny. Like when we watch Champions League, I'm breathing.
It's like referees that have common sense.
Yeah. And then we even have semi-automated offsides, right? Which, Premier League being clever, no,
draw the lines.
We're going to draw the lines. These guys, I'm sorry, but they're not competent enough. It's not their fault even.
They can't even draw lines properly.
Yeah. And like we must just complain about them every week. I won't even lie. Like when there was that goal against Tottenham with Newcastle, with the handball and then Newcastle scored and the rules were interpreted in a certain way.
Yeah.
I just feel like I felt so bad. It was like I actually felt bad for Tottenham fans. I was like, I tried to not, but since now they've actually shown us support, you know what, guys, like Tottenham, next time there is a problem, if there's actually one Tottenham fan who listens to this podcast, they've probably gone crazy. I'm sure we have none.
That's also true.
But yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not with you on that one. I think since they lost on purpose against Man City last season
Oh,
to even stop themselves from qualifying for the Champions League, so they deserve everything that they're getting. All these
yeah.
losses with Big Ange and so
But
forth, they
that
deserve
broke
it.
Big Ange. That's actually was the beginning of the end. If you think about it, that was the first.
Well, it's
Remember,
not the end yet. He's staying. They're the
listen,
semi-final, so
and
good luck.
listen. When Mourinho was in the semi-final and he got to the final, Daniel Levy fired him just before because he didn't want to pay
I
the
don't.
bonus.
I don't think you'll make the same mistake.
You don't think so? Listen,
Nah, I don't think you'll make.
have you seen their form? Because to be honest, they are the second worst team right now on
He
form
must
in
stay,
the
man.
league.
If they get relegated, he can get them out the championship as well. You know?
Yeah.
Big Ange, man. He's the guy, mate.
Ange in, mate. He always wins something in the second season. But also, man,
Exactly.
I feel like, Daniel Levy in as well. Because, like, I was looking at the
Yeah,
finances as well today. I don't know if you saw that the Deloitte Money League is out, like
No.
the revenues and all that. I must actually send you a link. It's very cool. And yeah, of course, as always, if we look at the past like 12 months and last season, Tottenham really underinvests in the squad. Of course, of all the big teams, they're the ones who pay the least. So I'm not surprised. The manager like needs help, man, and injuries. It's like we're seeing Arsenal needs help and injuries. Anyways, why am I talking so much about Tottenham in this podcast? Forgive me, guys. Let's go back to Arsenal.
But I just want to just take it back to the game. What I was saying was we went on a tandem, but I think that if I was Ipswich or any of the teams fighting relegation, I would also like complain. Like, why hasn't Gomez got a straight red there? Because Gomez is just going to be suspended just for one game.
Yeah.
It could be suspended for 3. And so, people only think about, oh yeah, but Arsenal and Arsenal games. Let's think about like the other teams that are fighting relegation here,
Yeah.
like they, Wolves is a rival in this stage. And if one of their players or first team players is suspended for 3 games, that's, so I do think the club will, Arsenal will appeal, and I think they will win, because I think it goes to like an independent board that's made out of like ex-referees and ex-players, something along those lines. And I think looking at the comments from various people in media and ex-players, I mean, it's unanimous,
Did you see the ex-chief of PGMOL said it? Huh?
Yeah.
He said it. He said it like that. It's not a...
Even,
then,
even
Troy Deeney.
The guys from Sky Sports, even Sky Sports of all the places.
Sky Sports of all people, man. And then Troy Deeney, who freaking always loves to like give us a punch. I love him, but he's always after us, cojones and all that. He literally said it on radio today. He's like, that's for him up there with, he's like, in his opinion, it's the worst referee decision of all time. And I was like, okay, Troy, like chill as well.
Yeah,
but wow.
I think it's of all time, but wow, yeah.
I was like, whoa, man. What about like Maradona's goal with hand of God? But
what
like
about Thierry Henry versus Ireland?
Yeah.
The hand. Whoa.
Yeah. Or the ghost goal for Lampard. But anyways, Troy Deeney, like I think he's coming back, man. Maybe he's always loved Arsenal, man. That's why,
Yeah, no, it's I think it's unanimous. I think they if they want to take some pressure off themselves right now, they have to rescind that card, they have to
That's how I hope, but I feel
they have
like
to change it to a yellow.
Yeah.
But
I feel like they're not
yellow
gonna, but they're not gonna admit it, man.
They won't admit it. They won't admit it.
So I feel like it will have to be the independent.
It's gonna go to an independent panel, and hopefully everything gets resolved before the City game, because we need our 18-year-old left
He's
back.
actually our starting left back, man. Even though Calafiori has shown once again that he's shot. He's an attacking secret weapon, man. Remember, the same way he scored against
for some
Man
reason,
City.
I'm liking him off the bench.
Yeah,
He brings this energy that I think we might need in games coming up. But also a big part of me is also thinking Miles Lewis Kelly in midfield, which is his original position.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious.
Me too, man.
I'm also curious about that.
Me too.
Because I mean, he was probably the best player until that moment when he got sent off, because he was causing a lot of problems on that left side, shrugging players off, keeping the ball and trying to release it in time.
And even I must say, our academy players this season, they're doing the job, man. They're bringing the
For
goods.
sure.
Because even Waneri being back from injury, and like last minute we didn't have Odegaard. Normally, a few months ago, we'd have all been like, "What the heck?" Panic, but we were chilled. You know what I mean? It's like Odegaard's not there. He's sick. Okay, Waneri's in. Boom, let's go. Let's play. You know. So I feel like those two, man, Luis Kelly and Waneri now, they really. I actually hope the coach. This is gonna sound crazy, but I hope the coach starts them for this Champions League game that's coming now against Girona, or as you know, what did you call them earlier? Man City.
Man City Juniors.
And that he
No
also
offense to Girona fans, but it's true though. Feed a club to Manchester City.
And then
Anyways,
for me, if he starts the kids on this one and then can do some rotation for Man City, like Odegaard is back, I would start Calafiori against Man City because he scored against them already, you know, in the beginning of the season. And then against Newcastle, with the two kids again, you know, Carabao Cup, like games that we gotta go and we gotta attack, you know what I mean? Because for me, I feel like Man City is kind of back. Every team got to whoop them, and then now we're actually gonna have a hard game. You know what I mean? Us versus Man City, I think it's gonna be kind of a hard game. Whilst I feel like Girona, no offense, Man City junior team, and Newcastle, I think we'll have a lot more of the
season,
ball.
are they?
Yeah, and I think we're gonna have more of the ball. So for me, I would love to see the academy kids on the ball. They just got that swag, man. You know, it'd be nice to see them play.
Yeah, and I mean it's good news that Benjamin White is back, but I think he'll. They say that possibly only Newcastle you can make.
What a game to come back, man! Perfect to have Ben White.
But also just having Ben White back, and hopefully Tomiyasu can get a string of games as well because he's also back. So at least, you know, I don't want to see Thomas partying right back anymore. So
please,
that's
like never again.
Because I mean, you saw Thomas in midfield, man. Once again, you know, Thomas and Rice. I mean, Rice. How good is Rice, man? Like,
listen, remember how at the beginning of the season?
Remember, I was criticizing him.
Yeah,
I hold my hands up.
Yeah, this is the Rice we know. This is the Rice we've been waiting for. Obviously, he was exhausted after the Euros and last season and the season before with West Ham going all the way to the Conference League final. And, you know, I think he finally got some, I don't know how, because it wasn't rest, but somehow he's like now looks like he's got his energy back, you know? He's running, he's tackling, he's shooting. Like, did you see even later in that Wolves game, he made this one tackle. I was like, whoa, bro, like chill. Like, give them a chance, man. They've got like 11 players and you're playing like your 3 players.
I actually really think Arteta's going to be able to transform into a proper 8. I really think so. There's already signs. I know Maguire would be like, dude, hold on.
No, but I agree.
But
I agree now. I saw it.
I'm starting to believe in that particular part.
Especially because of the whole. We want. I feel like the way we play, we want our defensive midfielder, funny enough, to do less defending and more passing, and we want like our 8 to do more like pressing and actual tackling and defend. So yeah, in that I actually Zubimendi and him.
And I'm looking at. And I'm looking at the fact that he's taking more shots lately. I don't know if you've seen even the goal that he scored in Champions League.
What a goal, 3 minutes in, 2 or 3 minutes in.
He's starting to get, you know, a bit more. Before, I remember Rice used to get the ball and immediately pass it or
sort of sideways or back. He's now confident. Sideways.
But I think his confidence is growing more and more in that role, especially when Thomas is behind him. I think Thomas plays a big part in that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Partey's no longer like looking back thinking Jorginho won't be able to catch up. I need to run back. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm seeing Rice improve so much because he's improved his corners this season. Now he's back to like all the other things he was doing last season and he's taking shots and he's becoming more of a leader. Yeah. I'm really like seeing like now there we go. Now we've got like a world-class midfield there. My hope is that, you know, I really don't rate Merino at all, but my hope is that having seen how some players are improving, maybe even Merino will improve, man. You know what I mean? Like, let's give him a few more months.
I think from coming from a slower league, also he played during the Euros
and he got injured in his first training session.
And he got injured in his first training session, and then going into a very physical league.
Yeah.
and also not having a lot of game time. Remember
Yeah.
that he's in, he's out, he's
Yeah.
sub. It's not like consistent starting
Yeah.
going through where
So
you can
I'm
play
gonna
into
give him
form.
more of a chance. Gonna give him more of a chance. I've been very
Yeah,
harsh on him.
yeah, and I mean we've seen it with Calafiori when he's fit and he
Ah,
plays for us, he gives it all. You even saw against Wolves, like he
but
gives
we've
it all.
known it. It was
Yeah.
only Bill. Bill is the one who hates Calafiori, man. But Calafiori, I actually, as much, listen, I'm loving Luis Kelly right now, and Luis Kelly right now on form is to be like the main one. But let's also be serious. For me, like Calafiori is the number one left back in this team. It's just that right now he's also been having adaptation. He's had some moments where he doesn't he misses, he makes mistakes, but like he's got the
Sure.
X factor, man.
For sure, he's got the X factor, and I think the only reason why I think Arteta hasn't let go of Zinchenko yet is because of all these injuries that seems to be our luck this season. So I think
Yeah.
that's why he hasn't let go, and I don't think he will let go of Jorginho and Zinchenko. I think we definitely will.
Listen, Jorginho, I hear you. I think he's going to stay until the end of the season. I'm already hearing rumors.
Zinchenko.
No, Jorginho. I was hearing rumors that there's clubs in Brazil who wanted to get Jorginho, but I think he's going to stay with us.
No, he's staying. He's definitely staying.
I'm happy.
Like, we can't risk it.
Yeah, I'm happy staying until the end of the season. But Zinchenko, man, Dortmund and Atletico Madrid are proper interested, man.
I heard, but I heard. But I think with the way our injury season is going,
sell, man. Sorry, no, you can sell.
I hear you. I hear you.
7
but
left backs, H-dub.
I hear you.
We can handle the
Tierney.
season with 6. We can handle the season with 6.
I can't. Kieran Tierney, what a turnaround that!
And he's putting in crosses, man. He's putting in his crosses, you know.
The thing is, the coach seems to like him now. Like he seems to like trust him.
But
you know,
the coach always liked him.
What a comeback!
The problem was his injuries, and also that like the coach was trying to force him to learn how to invert, but you cannot teach. You can't.
Yeah, I think he's given up.
International.
I think he gave up on
exactly.
How to.
You can't.
So Tierney will make the end of the season. Hopefully, he'll keep fit, and hopefully, he can go to a club where he can. Because at Arsenal, it's done after this season.
He'll go back to Celtic, man. There's already the whole of like Scotland and South. They're like excited, man. They're busy discussing the pre-contract. For sure, I think it's like very likely. Let's see. We don't know for sure. Anything can happen in football. But I think he's gonna go. But I think at least we get him for the rest of the season, man. We've got Tierney. He's back.
Yeah.
And eventually Tomiyasu will be back, right? Like, come on, he will be. Please.
Let's hope so.
So come on, sell Zinchenko, man.
Let's hope so.
It's 20 mil, man.
So and
you said no
I miss Saka though. I miss Saka though.
Yeah.
Bukayo.
Listen,
Bukayo,
I'm actually in my mind, I'm not even expecting Bukayo. I know he's gonna come back in April, and I'm thinking, Bukayo, man, just recover well. We need you for next season. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need him to come back early and then get injured, and like we have to do it without him, man. So, moment of truth, man. We've got 7 days.
So yeah, exactly. I was going to say about that, like 7 days. I'm hearing that there's this wonder kid from Rosenborg, a Norwegian, the new Martin Odegaard, who is going to, apparently Ornstein says that it's highly likely we should be getting him.
Yeah, man. I know fans
probably... decision's not made yet.
Yeah, I know fans probably don't get as excited about this kind of signing because who has been watching Rosenborg play, maybe like a very, very few scouts. And if you live...
Maybe if you're like an actual professional scout, yes.
And if you live there, do you know what I mean? But even some of us who are more part-time, we know of this kid, man. Because 2 years ago, people were already talking about this kid when he made his debut. I think was it 2 years? 3 people were talking about him. He made his debut when he was 15 something.
15, yeah.
But 2023, he was already voted I think he was voted the best player from his age group at that time. And even people who love playing Football Manager, he was already being spoken about as one of those.
That's where I know his name from, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And man, I was checking some of his statistics, he looks very interesting, man. And I think having him come under our midfielders, get mentored by Odegaard, who's of course the captain of his national team, I think it's perfect signing. I love signings like this, man. This makes me feel so happy.
Let's hope it's Saliba all over again in a way.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah.
Where signed early and let's see, whether he goes straight into the first team or not, whether he needs a loan. I don't know
Yeah.
how that will work out, but
Yeah.
hopefully what I'm saying, hopefully to Saliba is more as in like, let's also be patient and let's
Yeah,
also,
for sure, of course.
yeah, let's also be patient. And I think the club, Mertesacker / Arteta, will make the right decisions
Yeah.
for the future of this kid
Yeah,
for
man.
us.
And there's another two midfielders coming for us as well, man, which I feel like we're going to be quite...
Zubimendi is coming.
Zubimendi's coming, and then there's already a kid from the academy who's been training with us.
Max Doman.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Max Doman?
And that's Nwaneri part 2, man. His brother also plays midfield right back, and he's coming, man.
Yeah, there's a couple of Highland kids coming through, man. It's exciting.
The future looks bright, but we need to win that league.
But we need that. We don't need side dishes. Having chat in the group around, and this is no offense, but Mbeumo is a great player. I think he's a decent Premier League striker, but Cunha. I mean, I can't judge Cunha on his performance against us because he seemed like he was quite frustrated though as well. Because it seemed like he was actually up for it, and the other guys around him, Sarabia, just wasn't they weren't on his wavelength. That kind of frustrated him. Yeah, because he wanted to impress. Like that guy wants the Arsenal move,
bro. That's his audition, man. But the fact that he wants it and is versatile makes me keen, man. I would be happy to get it.
Same here. Actually,
did you see the price?
The price is
seems a bit.
He's not worth.
67 mil, we don't need to start singing Waka Waka like Havertz, 65 mil down the drain. If it comes for less.
For me, the price is too high, especially if we get our main guy in the summer.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, are we really selling Trossard? Are we selling Jesus? Are we overloading here?
We can't sell Jesus. There's no one's going to buy. He's injured, man.
True, and I think you'll only be back once the window will be shut.
Window closed,
of summer window will be shut. So I mean, hopefully he can still play a part whenever he comes back. But 2 ACLs, in the space of less than 5 years, huh?
Yeah, that's
very
two
tough.
Different legs. That's a tough one, man. We wish him a speedy recovery, man. But that's a tough one.
Yeah, I hope that he comes back, gets some sort of form, and I hope a Saudi team come for him and he can make tons of money.
Exactly, he can go dribble some cats in Saudi and earn some big bucks.
Make tons of money for him and his family, and ride into the sunset.
Yeah, man.
Because I don't think at the highest level, meaning Premier League, I don't know. Those kind of injuries are already. You saw what happened to Bellerin.
Yeah, man, sure.
It completely kills you.
Yeah, man. He lost
any athlete, actually.
Yeah.
By
the way, did you know that Bellerin, very random, but since we spoke about Hector Bellerin, do you know he partially owns a club in the lower divisions?
He owns is it FGR? Is it that Forest Road?
Yeah, he doesn't fully own it, but he owns some shares.
Yeah, he owns some shares in it,
Yeah, because he's vegan and the club is all
quite a while vegan,
Yeah. Can't he also send us a little wonder kid, man? He needs to scout for us, from his club. Tell us, we've got an up-and-coming star, man. Sign him up. But
once a gunner, always a gunner.
I feel like I've given up on the fact, we're not going to sign a big striker. You were right. I think no one. But it's okay. That referee red card made me not even angry.
But you know what? But you know what? And I think the guys on Arsblog also said this when I think Andrew from Arsblog said this, and I was like, man, I can't believe it, because I felt exactly the same. I know even in our group in Maninganas, I keep saying, even Fabrice, if Fabrice is listening, you're probably gonna laugh at me. But like Fabrice was talking about miracles. I still don't believe in miracles. I still think that your own. Well, maybe with PGMOL, we have to hope for miracles. You have to hope for miracles from referees. Can you believe I'm saying that?
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that, I'm really, really hoping that what happened to us in that Wolves game, and I could see it in some of those players.
Yeah.
It's they're willing to fight, man.
For sure.
And for me as a fan, going no strike or whatever, I'm starting to feel okay, let's focus on next season. And I'm guilty of saying that as well. Let's focus on next season. We'll get our man then. We'll focus properly on we made the mistake already. There's no going back. Hard to get players in January. But you know what? The guys that are there, including Kai Havertz, man, at the end of that game, you could
Yeah.
see that
Yeah,
guy was
they were.
finished.
Yeah,
Done.
they've
Like,
they've
finished,
they've
finished,
they've,
finished.
they've put
Ran
so much, man.
everything.
December,
And I
Jan in
look at
England should be illegal, man. I love it because it's so much football,
Yeah.
but it should actually be illegal, bro. These guys have been like,
it almost feels like they should come up with a new rule for those 2 months where teams can maybe contract 2 extra or maybe 2 to 3 extra players just for that period on each position, and then those players kind of, I don't know, then go on.
But instead of coming up with a new rule, you can just be like Chelsea, eh? Because Chelsea did it. They've got big squad, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're actually selling some of those players that have long-term contracts.
Exactly.
They're still getting good prices for them, apparently. But maybe Ted Bowley is a genius after all. Man.
The fact he still hasn't been punished by PSR is what's making me think like maybe he's a genius, because I was 100%. Today I was even looking through, as soon as I saw their accounting thing, I'm like a bit of a geek, man. I was going through their accounts. I'm like, yeah, these guys are getting nailed. Nothing. They're clean. The hotel's loophole worked. But it doesn't work with UEFA. Huh? So if Chelsea qualifies for Champions League, they will get punished. Huh? So let's see. Let's see, man.
At the moment, it doesn't look like they're going to Champions League the way that they're playing, and the way Man City's back, Bournemouth, man. Wow. Wow. Informed team of the league.
And you remember when we struggled against them and we lost out?
People were laughing at us.
Isn't it fun?
We had 10 men.
Yeah. Isn't it fun now in retrospect, like some of the biggest freakouts we've had this season, when you look back at it now that you know a bit more, it's like, no, that made sense. You know what I mean? It's like us losing to Bournemouth wasn't a sign that this season we're not good enough to win the league. No. Bournemouth is really good this season. You know what I mean? So, I am going to say, like Fabrice, I believe in half a miracle. I don't want to give up the league just yet, especially now with that ref stuff. I was like, you know what? After all the refs and injuries, the fact we're still pushing, but we know what will really take me from half a miracle to like, I'll believe we can walk on water. I mean, striker, which for sure, but I feel like that's not going to happen. So if we win our next 3 matches, like we've got our Champions League game.
City.
If we beat
City,
we beat City, and then we managed to beat Newcastle for this Carabao second leg.
3 goals at St. James's Park.
I'm happy with 2, and to go through on penalties badly. I'm happy, man.
Look, it's 2 without them scoring. And remember, they've got their full team. Except Nick Pope, I think.
Believe, man. If we can do this, then I think this team will lift off, man. You know what I mean? If we can do this, for me, if we win these next 3 games, because Champions League then means, we don't have the extra games.
Dubai, baby.
Then we beat Man City, and then we come back against Carabao Cup and we hit Dubai. Bro, even Ben White, he's going to come back like Superman, man, after he gets a bit of sunshine. Then I believe in this team, even if we sign no one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. City game is going to be tough.
Do you see the new signings?
I really hope Marmoush is such a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah.
The other guy, the other defender, man, I felt sorry for him.
He was nervous. He was a bit early. Yeah. The guy from Uzbekistan, huh?
Yeah, but look, credit to Man City fans, though. Like, they clapped for him afterwards, unlike Man United fans again. When Xerxes was subbed off.
Exactly.
Crying.
Yeah. But Man United fans, you know how it is.
Like,
yeah.
So, credit to them for getting behind him, and that's going to do wonders for him as well. People don't think about the psychological part and what these players go through, the pressure. The guy was literally signed less than a week ago, and already he's in a big game against Chelsea.
Yeah, and he's young, man.
He's young, yeah.
But I think he's good, man, because he was playing here in France against for Lens. And remember, Lens like a hectic team with crazy crowds. I think that he will be a good investment for them in a couple of years. You know what I mean? We're not going to see the good now, but yeah, man. City's doing their biz, man. 3 players.
No, they always have. But we're learning. We're doing business as well. I mean, if we get this this wonder kid, we're learning. We've got a lot to do, I think. but I think that we've also got to sort out what's the situation with this sporting director.
Yeah, man.
Is it Aito? Is it Aito?
Jason Aito,
Aito, yeah.
Aito, tomato,
if
potato.
if it's him, if it's someone else, like there needs to be, I think, more of a clearer direction, especially heading into next summer's transfer window and targets and, who you're going to get. But I'm also liking the fact that we are getting and signing wonder kids, signing prospects, young, players in, and also investing, meaning giving contracts to, Miles Lewis Skelly is going to get a new contract.
Yeah,
I think Ranieri is going to get a new contract. Yeah. Also that is fantastic. It's great business, I think.
For sure, man. But you see now why we need to sell one of the 7 left backs. You know what I mean? Gotta sell one of the 7 left backs to fund these things, man.
No, look, I mean, it's the same with anything. A good offer comes in, what can you do? It's that money can go into the pot into getting Oscar Isaac. Isaac.
By the way, on this topic of money, not Isaac because but on this topic of money. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised because of this, like looking at the Deloitte Money League. Arsenal has been the club that has increased the revenue the most. So like over the past year, logically because we came back into Champions League, having not been in Champions League. Number 1 in the world is Real Madrid.
We went up to quarters. We went up to the quarters.
Yeah, and we went up to the quarters. Real Madrid, of course, is like crazy. They're the first club to reach 1 billion euros in revenue, which is incredible. Wow. And they've like done really amazing things.
And they got Mbappe for free.
I know, and they got Mbappe for free, man. Yeah. And they're already like buying some. They also buy wonder kids. You know what I mean? They already have Hendrik ready for a couple of years' time. Yeah. But Real Madrid, of course, being Real Madrid, biggest club in the world, all the revenue, etc. We've now gone up. We've finally back where we've overtaken all the London clubs. We've overtaken Tottenham and Chelsea, which thank you because it was ridiculous when we weren't. But I think we even overtook Liverpool, but like by just a tiny bit. Because we made the Champions League and then but I feel like I used to tune them a lot about the commercial side. And actually, I feel like the club is starting to like become lean and focused. So if we increase that revenue, and I know people get bored about the business chat, but remember that going forward, the new PSR rules is 70% of revenue. So it's important. You know what I mean? Like, the stars we want to get, the contracts we give, revenue is becoming more and more important. So that's why, like, I don't think we should just ignore that side of life. I think Arsenal needs to do a better job, but they are doing it. So it's making me feel a bit more happy with the direction of the club.
Yeah, no, they have to from a commercial standpoint. I mean, you've also seen it I've seen it also from a media standpoint, the way the club communicates, the messages that they're putting out, the style, all of that, making it more, making, even if you're a fan from anywhere in the world, it's for you to understand the values and why, where the club is from, people around there, they're promoting like local businesses, like all of that, I think is creating this like one family, no matter where in the world you are. Even with me, like when I went for the last game of the season to there in London, like it's crazy, man. Like I don't live there at all. I was just there for a couple of days, but I felt right at home, and I met some fans from Holland, fans from there, obviously, another fan from Spain, people that again, but you come in and it feels like this family because everyone knows all the players, everyone knows the results of the games, has been watching every single game during that season. And that's what you talk about. And you talk about, what you feel like the players we should sign, the ones we should get rid of. But it's this whole connection of all these fans. And I think it's credit to I think Arteta since day one, since he's joined, that's been his dream. That's been his drive, is to unite more of the fans.
Yeah.
The team with the club and so forth. And that's ongoing. That has to always be ongoing. That's why even in the stadium, they changed a lot of the artwork and they got fans involved with the new artwork as well. And it's ongoing. And I believe there's even more changes happening with the stadium and so forth. So that obviously has to be ongoing. But but something we didn't touch on was the manager, right? especially in this game.
Yeah, but before you
against
move on to
Wolves.
the manager, man, what you were saying is so
Yeah.
beautiful. I've actually wanted
Oh,
to
yeah,
ask you for a
Yeah.
while now about that trip, vibe that you felt being there, like on that final day, the fans that you met, and maybe we need to start inviting some of these fans
it
too.
was for sure. I think it was bittersweet because one, it was exciting because we were this close and we were just waiting for Man City to, again, miracles, right? To slip up in their last game. But they've done it for years and they weren't going to slip up in that last, but it was the hope, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone was buzzing, basically going, if people I was talking to, some people even saying, look, if we win it, I'm calling in sick. People were like
I'm
making
tattooing my
plans.
butt cheeks,
People were making plans already. I remember that I only went out with like my ID and one bank card, no other documents, just in case, things get wild.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Everyone kind of like prepared in the back of their heads, like that things could, we could win a title here,
Yeah, man.
Unfortunately it wasn't the case, but, and we could see it at full time, just like how everyone was just like, and I think it was like, as in like, man, it had been a long season.
Yeah. But little did we know.
Till the last day, till the last day.
But little did we know,
I think
last season almost finished us thinking it was a long season. But this season, we're only halfway, and I feel like this season is longer, man. Yeah. But
and you look at something like that, and not to bring it back to the refs, but then you look into things like, that Doku challenge on McAllister,
man,
where could it have been a penalty to Liverpool, and how that could have changed things completely, or not. I don't know. We'll never know. But and who was that referee that day?
No, please don't. No. Please tell me you're joking.
Go check. Go confirm.
No,
I'm actually going to confirm right now.
Do not say it's Michael Oliver, please.
I'm going to confirm right now, and I will tell you.
Guys, I hope he's wrong.
But okay, Liverpool wanted a penalty in the final minute of a thrilling Anfield encounter against the title rivals that ended 1-1. But referee, drumroll, Michael Oliver, waved away their calls, and VAR, Stuart Atwell, stuck with the on-field decision.
You know what? Take back everything I said. This guy is an absolute douchebag. No, this ref sucks.
So it's happened again. You see, VAR, Stuart Atwell, stuck with the decision. I
don't want to swear at refs, Gordon.
And they said, in the audio, they said they both came in high, and Doku made contact with the ball. Nah, he has his studs to his chest. Even if he contacted the ball, he has his studs to his chest.
For people who love,
how is that normal?
Oh my God! For people who love to follow like the rule of the law, why do they like to only follow the rule of the law when it suits them, and then they like to make up rules when it like doesn't? Like what the? No, man. No, you're joking. Please, you're joking, right? Please tell me this is a nightmare. It wasn't.
No, I'm not even joking.
Okay, you know what?
I'm not even joking.
We're making fuck Michael Oliver t-shirts, man. I'm done.
You just can't referee any.
They're gonna put him like in all the big games. You're gonna see like Liverpool versus Man City. Oh, but maybe in that case it's good, because it's gonna be pro Man City. Anyways, that's so bad. You know what? This guy. Oh man. What? So it was him? Nah, man.
Yep. Indeed, it was.
Bro, if this was like a AFCON match.
I don't know how he referees Man City games.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. I think because he declared. I think refs have to declare what team they support, and I think he was like Newcastle, so he can't ref Newcastle games. So I think they give him Man City because they think he's a Newcastle fan. But one thing is a fan, the other thing is who's paying your bills.
Yeah, exactly. Who your secret employers are versus you're a fan of a football club.
And also, these 115 charges, when are they coming out, man? Like, how much longer do we have to wait?
Yeah, they said it was supposed to be end of Jan, so...
Jan is ending, like...
So let's see.
No, man.
Said it was supposed to be end of Jan. So yeah, I mean,
Dude.
so end of my trip, I think it was bittersweet because of that. Just the ending was not what we all kind of wanted, but it was nice to kind of be there in the stadium on a match day and
Feel the
yeah, man,
excitement
and meet some new gunners, meet some new people, and yeah, I hope to do that again sometime soon.
You must let me know, man. We need to go to a game
'cause-
together, man. It's kind of stupid that we haven't been, man.
For
But
sure. For sure.
but when we do
I'm hoping to do that again soon.
when we do it, like imagine it's like a big final, but it won't be. You know what I mean? Like I would love like a FA Cup final. You know, but like the thing is, you can
Wembley.
just go. Yeah, you can just go.
Yeah.
But for me, man,
Watched
I
a
need to
few
apply
games at
for
Wembley,
visa.
yeah.
I need to apply for visa on time. You know what I mean? And the embassy here in France takes a while, man. So it's not too like you have to give me one.
Oh yeah, I need. Yeah.
You can't tell me like 2 days before. But yo, we gotta go watch a match together, man. Especially if it's also Arsenal
Yeah, for
women's in the same weekend. I would love to do like a double header, like watch Arsenal
yeah.
women and Arsenal men in one weekend.
But then Arsenal women. But the thing is, with Arsenal women, they usually don't play at home when the men play at home, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll make a
But
plan.
maybe they're playing in London
That's
still. You know what I mean? They could still be playing in London. You know what I mean?
We're playing at the Toilet Bowl or the other place in West London.
Yeah.
But what I'd say is, lastly, what I wanted to mention was the coach. The coach, and then I think the Champions League game. I think if we win, it will be great because we don't have to go and play the extra 2 games. I think that's the aim. We have to try and win against Girona and try and stay in that top. I think it's the top 8 that go automatically.
Yeah,
Is
and
it?
it's tight, huh?
Go
You've seen,
automatically.
like from like
Tight,
us,
the points.
us in third all the way to like 15th. It's like very few points, huh?
Yeah. Is it 3 or 4?
I think
can't remember.
I think 2. I actually have it here because
Is it 2?
we've
Wow.
got 16.
That's
It's
actually-
3. It's 3. We've got 16, and the team in 13
goal
has
difference?
13. Our goal difference is good. We've got 12. So goal difference wise, we're pretty good. But I mean, like Bayern Munich is in 15th, and they've got 12 points. You know, which they can't catch us, which is good. But literally just above them, Lille, Brest, like there's a lot of teams who can still pass us.
It's a must-win game because I look at it from the perspective as well, is that once those guys that go and play those extra 2 games get through, I think the higher you are, the you play against the lower ranked
against the
teams or
lower
something like
ranked
that, right? Yeah.
Knowing our luck, no matter what, we're gonna get
Gonna get Bayern.
Bayern, you know what I mean?
Knowing our luck.
Yeah,
knowing our luck,
PSG.
we're gonna get Bayern.
You know what I mean? Or Man City just sneaks in.
Yeah,
and
well,
that's what we get.
PSG, the different PSG, because when we played PSG,
Yeah.
we completely dominated them, but now they're like they're different.
Yeah.
As a last thing, let's touch on the manager quickly, because it's been a tough 2 months, and also these injuries as well, and also he's also doesn't escape the criticism, but also I gotta give him a pat on the back. I gotta give him his flowers for the way he handled everything in that game. The way he handled the press afterwards as well. And I really love what he said, because for me, it was very important for him to say what he said. And look, it could have also been that if we had lost that game or dropped points, he could have gone full nuclear, right?
Yeah. This is a
Just saying,
disgrace.
possibility.
Possibility. He handled it well.
I don't think to that level.
Yeah.
I don't think to that level, but I think it could have said something where it could have possibly got him into trouble.
Yeah.
The fact that we won not only has now galvanized this team, because that stuff he's going to use and going to tell them, like in the dressing room at training as well, like, guys, it's us against them, and take that into every game now.
And anytime there's injustice,
that now it's us, the 11, against them, the 12. And just the 12 is in all the referees, VAR included.
Yep.
We've got to be perfect. We cannot be when a player tries to get in our heads, we cannot retaliate. We cannot kick the ball away. We've got to be perfect.
Yeah, man.
And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is, right? but I really like what he said, and I think it was along the lines of he actually used some of their words that they've used in like the clear and obvious. Like I think he used like some of that, which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah.
And in a nutshell, I'm not going to quote him, but in a nutshell, basically said that like, you know, it should be obvious that they should rescind that. Like we don't have to appeal, although we kind of do.
Yeah, we better.
But he was just saying of how
obvious,
ridiculous that decision was.
Yeah,
that like, here guys, like take it back. It's okay. You can take it back. No harm done. We won the game. Take it back. That's how it felt, and it felt like how calm he was. Yeah, that it was also like he's also learned. Yeah, as well.
He's mature.
But he's also said. But it was also something interesting that he said that we've gotten used to it. There was something he said about like we've gotten used to it, and then there he's talking about these kind of decisions. You know, they've gotten used to, and it kind of felt like we've gotten used to it. When I heard that from him, it didn't feel like it was just Arsenal. It kind of feels like he was speaking as a whole, like, you know, that how come every week in this league there's always controversy.
You know,
how? Every week there is every week there's ref watch on some of these shows. Like, since when there needs to be ref watch?
You know what? I just remember Balotelli. Why always me? These refs, they gotta start wearing those t-shirts because, bro, they are always bringing drama, man. They're the new Balotelli,
man. Like, you've got VAR. Why does ref watch still exist? You know?
Yeah. But to be fair, we need it because they need to explain every week because they are fucking up every week proper, man.
Yeah, for me, it's very simple, man. Like these refs almost like rugby, need to hear what the referee is saying with the VAR.
Yeah.
That's why rugby also has like my utmost respect as a sport.
For sure.
Because it's just governed properly.
Yeah.
You know, and it's more of a gentleman's sport than football, like, to be honest.
For sure, man.
It's just crazy, but it's the truth. But
which makes me so angry, you know, because I always wanted to hate on rugby to love football, but actually I gotta respect rugby.
I got the utmost respect.
I gotta respect rugby, man. The World Cup was here, like the games were here, and I saw some people, and the way they were,
it was run very well.
It was like really, like, I wish, man.
Yeah, the French love their rugby as well.
Yeah, man.
So Arteta, like, I think I have to take my head off. I think the you know, I was saying in the group, like, let's go 2-3 at the back and go for it. But I think he handled it very well.
Perfectly, man.
The subs he made.
Yeah.
And you know, have you noticed something? I wanted to mention that Martinelli's crosses have been the difference in a couple of these games, man. Right? Martinelli's crosses, even though some of the crosses, okay, a bit of luck here and there, and then fall into a player and that. You know, his
Trossard too.
Something's working. Trossard too.
They've upped their game a bit because they were. There was like a bit. They had a bit of a rough patch, but now looks like they're coming back to their level. You know, Martinelli and Trossard have been like they've raised.
That's why we really need to just hang in there.
Yeah.
Until Dubai.
Yeah, man.
Because after Dubai, it's going to be running.
Yeah, man.
Running period.
Like even if
guys will be refreshed.
Even if we don't win, we need to make Liverpool work for that title. But we need to come back and just win everything. You know what I mean? Every game.
Yeah, I saw that we played them at Anfield in the beginning of May, and I don't want to be clapping for them.
Yeah, you know, for sure.
Giving them a guard of honor.
They need to still be trying to get the title, and we need to beat them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we can be like, yo, we did our best. We didn't win, whatever. But we need to finish the season on such
there's a poll where people are saying that what is the chances, what's going to happen? Arsenal catching Liverpool or Manchester City catching Arsenal?
No,
most people said Manchester City catching Arsenal.
Who's doing this poll? Why are these bastards, man? Why are they trying to ruin our day, man?
People are mean, man.
Man City.
I think they're 6 points behind us.
Man City is getting -30, man. So it's fine. They ain't catching no one.
Yeah, we just gotta hope that Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest keep them
in check, man. Yeah, and also we still gotta play them anyways. We're gonna keep them in check this weekend. It's time, bro.
Yeah, man. We need.
They're coming to us, right?
Beat Man City.
They're coming to us, right? The Emirates. It's time.
It's the Stay Humble derby.
Yeah, and this time
Gabby's gonna be ready.
And the refs have been warned. the refs have been warned. If they do shenanigans, I just want a clean game. Let us resolve it.
They do shenanigans. You're gonna see fans storm the pitch.
Listen, man. If they do shenanigans, like it's over. It's like it's now. Now I'm gonna also start to become irrational.
But listen, I don't know if does this happen in the French league? Do they announce the referees like a week before the games happen?
I'm not actually sure. Just
Because that's what happens in this league. That's what happens in Premier League. Like I've never seen that before, not even Champions League, where they announce that referee so and so on VAR like 5 days or like 7 days before the actual game. And for me, it's like, why? Like, how's that important?
Hey man,
Why do I need to know that a particular referee is going to referee my team in 7 days' time? How's that important? It should be, if I found out on the day, it wouldn't make a difference to me.
Yeah, that's how it should be, right?
You get my point.
But it does. Because,
and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
So why? So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'll say it right here. I wouldn't be surprised if any of, these referees are involved in some sort of, we might see it in Netflix in a couple of years' time.
And I know people
involved in.
People will say this is
some sort of
some scandal, huh? And you're saying, oh no, this is bringing disrepute to our game. It's happened in Serie A. We know it for long.
It's happened in the NBA.
La Liga, there was some of that stuff that came out, with like some undue influence.
La Liga, yeah.
And even if we go to the Premier League, we've had cases of these players who are millionaires betting, right? Millionaires.
Yep. Well, you've had you've had what is it? The guy who was on drugs talking about Jurgen Klopp. He's now been suspended and fired.
Yeah.
David Coote, I think that's
David
his name.
Coote.
And he's now so.
When you said drugs,
again,
I thought
with the smoke.
When you said drugs, today there was a football player who got arrested for drugs, for importing drugs into Europe through Belgium.
Oh,
Nainggolan.
Was it Nainggolan? Yeah, the former.
Can I just say
Roma player?
Yeah, can I just say something stupid?
Into Roma.
I really don't understand football players some days because, like, you make a crap ton of money doing what you love.
It's the friends you keep, man.
Why you gotta do dodgy stuff? And then he already looks dodgy. You know what I mean? Like, bro, if I'm looking like Nainggolan, this is just play it clean, bro. Because if there's trouble, people will assume you're guilty.
If I'm working at customs and I'm there with the K9,
you know what I mean?
I'm like,
this guy,
come here.
Like, just play it clean, like, because he could be innocent. We don't know. They just arrested him. They're gonna now but it's a sting and it's been an investigation. But like, there's already gonna be like, just the way you look, people are gonna think you're guilty, bro. So just stay away from all these friends of yours who are doing dodgy things. There's no need. You are a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, why are footballers like still betting and doing these dodgy things? Yeah, man.
It's the friends you keep, and also there's this also. With certain players, I think it's you kind of feel untouchable. You earn a lot of money, people love you, fans love you. You have 40 to 60,000 people screaming your name week in, week out. You feel untouchable. So that, in my opinion, also kind of plays a part to some players. That's why it's super important to have an environment, and I believe, like, even the best clubs, and even the Barcelona club, that's why, like, Barcelona, they might be having their problems, but they have like La Masia, and La Masia they have values, of the way that a football player is supposed to act, a way that a football player is supposed to be, lifestyle, all of these things.
But you say that La Masia does have the values, and then Barcelona's ex-president was arrested for money laundering. Huh? So then it's like,
you're always gonna have the bad apples, right?
Yeah, but like, I feel like there's too many in football, man. It's like football needs to really clean up its act, man.
Almost now more than ever.
Yeah. Because there was already those guys with FIFA a couple of years ago. You know what I mean?
You're probably still gonna hear,
of course,
quite a lot of those.
And
to come still.
I feel like now it's time that, like, there's no need, man. You make so much money. Just live a happy, quiet life, man. Like, you're doing what you love. Do you know what I mean? Like, all the fans are working hard every day, doing probably jobs, a majority jobs that are hard, that you hate, to come and watch you, man. Just play well, go home, and have a happy life. But hey, man, we're saying this some people are gonna call us
Yeah, but it's also
critical because Arsenal.
yeah, but it's also not easy. Like these players go through a lot, like physically. Look at how many games these guys are playing. When you gotta go to sleep early and your friends are out partying, these guys are young too. Remember us when we were 20, 22?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's true.
So it's it's not an easy life.
Since we've touched on this controversial thing and we're getting towards the end, I wanted to ask you, would you take Greenwood
at Arsenal?
Comes with
for the player, yes,
baggage,
but it comes with for the player, yes, but for the baggage, no. If you want me to be honest,
yeah,
because I think he's a good player and I still think he's got it, but yeah, it's just too much baggage, man. Too much baggage, especially for us. That's a team where, look at the situation also with Thomas right now, where it hasn't been named, but there's murmurs and things, and some people are saying that it's him, which is unfair.
By the way, how do people know already? Because people have been saying that, right? And I've always been like, how do
you don't? Like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, I think it's unfair. To speculate on things like that.
Right? If he's guilty, he's guilty.
Until you know, if he's guilty, he's guilty. But you get people saying like, "Oh yeah, but why doesn't Arsenal fire him?" It's like on the basis of what?
Like, how do we know if Thomas
for what
came out? Like nothing.
Exactly. Like he hasn't been charged.
Like with Mendy, we heard, and there was like investigation for
Mendy
a while,
was charged,
and then he was suspended, and then he was charged. For me, like if there is a charge,
but when he was charged, he was suspended. That's how it is. That's how it should be. And I even think on their contracts, there's something along those lines, so the club also doesn't get into trouble. I think now Mendy is fighting Man City because he
wants to get paid,
not guilty, and he has overdue wages, something along those lines. But you can't assume with that sort of thing, and I think just with Greenwood, back to Greenwood, I think he's a great player, but it's just too much baggage, man.
He went to the right club in Marseille, man. Even though the mayor of Marseille complained, the fans could not listen. If you play for Marseille, you sweat, you run, you score goals, and you score a goal against PSG, they will forgive you for everything, man. You can't be.
They'll love you forever.
You can be a drug trafficker. You know what I mean? They'll be like, bro, do your business. Just score us some goals.
Come to training.
Yeah.
Make the match days. Score some goals.
And he's doing really well here, man.
Sign some autographs.
I don't know if I can already say this, but I think he will be
because even when he was at Getafe, he was playing really well.
Yeah, I think he will be top goal scorer this season for the league at the end. By the end of the league, I think it will be him.
Yeah,
but we'll see. His form is like gone a bit down, but I think he's coming back again with De Zerbi, man. Yeah, De Zerbi is also just there, man, just here doing what? But anyways,
yeah, he's another. That one's also another weird, strange one, strange coach. I think ending off, man. Referees. I think PGMOL really need to have a reform. I don't know if Howard Webb is the right guy. I also never like to see people get fired from the job, but there needs to be some sort of reform. I think something I didn't mention was, I don't know if even these decisions that are going against us, because you'll never see this again. You'll never see this. Like, you'll see a cynical foul in the Premier League next week, and it'll be a yellow card.
We saw it the next
Even
week.
if the guy comes in and slides through the guy to like trip him, yellow card.
We saw it.
You'll never see it, right?
We saw it on Sunday. We didn't even need to go until next week. On Sunday, it happened, and it was a yellow card. Yeah, which makes sense. That's the rule.
Again, I think that since Arteta called them out in the Newcastle game, which was last season,
they were like, you think you're the boss of us, we'll show you.
And he won in a way, because they tried to say, and then the whole disgracia and all of that, they were mentioning your surname quite a lot. And then him kind of coming out of that, without no ban or nothing, because they couldn't do anything.
They're like, we'll catch you. Don't worry.
No proof.
We'll show you later. Yeah. They have shown them.
I think
they began this.
I think it's there. I think it's for sure. I think it's there.
I'm sorry.
I think it's there. I think these guys are like,
Yeah.
you know what? These guys, Arsenal,
Yeah.
whatever we can do,
We'll
letter of the law,
we'll show them.
letter of the law.
Yeah.
You know,
But we'll come down hard on them. But with
all
the
these
law,
things,
yeah.
all these things of him being on the touchline, celebrating on the touchline,
Yeah.
whatever. All these new rules that they started putting in. I swear, if Traore from Fulham,
Yeah.
who puts the baby oil
Yep.
on
Uh-huh.
him, if he was an Arsenal player, I swear there would be a rule
Yeah,
of like
no
no
baby
baby
oil.
oil.
That's P Diddy.
Like
man.
it's at that level.
It'll
The
be-
pettiness is at that level. I'm telling you.
For sure.
So yeah, I think they need to independently be investigated. Will that ever happen? I don't think so.
Do you know who I think is petty, man? Because you're saying you want to hear from Carragher and Neville. I actually think Neville is a bit more impartial, man. I think Carragher is the one who really cannot undo his biases, man. Like he's biased. Like now because it's Liverpool versus Arsenal. Before it was with City.
Yeah.
Like I actually think Gary Neville, like for the past 3 seasons, I know he gets a lot of like hate from Arsenal fans, but the past 3 seasons he's been saying Arsenal's gonna win the league, man. Like he's feeling it. He's feeling the process, man.
Yeah. No, I, the reason I said I would like to hear what their comments and view is that I would like to see what is their position.
Yeah, for sure.
Know, because they always supporting these refs. They're always supporting hard web.
Yeah.
Whatever, even if it's a dodgy decision. They're like, but like they'll always be like
But on Stick to Football, I think they're a bit more honest because I think Roy Keane keeps them honest. And Ian Wright, they both keep them honest.
Yeah, right.
So I want to hear Roy Keane. That's actually who I wish. If Roy Keane had seen that farm.
Yeah, especially Roy Keane, that is someone that was also kind of a dirty player.
Bro, kind of.
In his own right.
Very dirty player, man.
And like,
yeah.
Because that tackle, like any day of the week, and also like that's a tackle that even your manager would be like
proud. It's like do it,
taking one for the team. Yeah, taking one for the team.
Dude, that's how Man City.
Pressure.
That's how Man City won a few titles was with those fouls.
Yeah, tactical fouls. Yeah.
So now that's no ways, man. Ridiculous.
But lastly, do you know that Michael Oliver was the referee for the game we played against City?
Yeah.
At the Etihad, where he gave Trossard the second yellow. Where Michael Oliver actually booked Miles Lewis-Skelly in that game. Miles Lewis-Skelly was on the bench and he was warming up.
Yes, and he got booked.
And he booked him.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on here, man.
You're right. Lewis-Skelly was the first player. I think he was the first player in history to get booked before he made his debut. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, something along those lines.
He had made his debut for
I don't know if I have it here.
If you first got a yellow card before he even played for us, man. That was it. It was with Michael Oliver. Man. Bro, this guy is petty, man. This guy is too petty.
Yeah. I don't know where I saw it. I saw it somewhere.
Lewis-Skelly is probably thinking, I hate this ref, man.
Yeah, here we go. It's I can't remember where this is from. The early title race face-off didn't need any more crazy moments. However, it got one in the form of an Arsenal player receiving a yellow card before he even made his Arsenal debut.
You see,
Michael Oliver, who has been a source of controversy throughout the match.
Oops, coincidence.
Gave the yellow card to the 17-year-old Miles Lewis-Skelly. At the time, he was 17. Yeah.
Bro.
Makes you think, huh?
Right? Man, these are too. This is too deep, man. You know.
Makes you think.
You know, this is one of the reasons why Arsene Wenger left France back in the day, huh? Because this was like this. There was all these dodgy things happening to his Monaco team. And everyone at the time is like, no, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, but then there was proof. Then the proof came out that,
the Marseille president at the time was busy bribing refs. And, you know, Arsene Wenger, like, left France, man. He chose to go to Japan, you know, because he was like, I'm done with refs.
Yeah, I remember
you know what
his book, yeah.
So, bro, like, oh my God.
Just to go to England.
Sorry, just to go to England to get the same thing with Ferguson's, like, guard dogs.
Ferguson's gang.
That's why I think Arsene Wenger has that quote of his, right? When they say, like, you know, when I die.
Yeah, when he goes to heaven.
Ask God, like, where do the referees go? You know, so that he knows where he wants to go somewhere else. Yeah. Nah, man.
Papa Vangs.
Yeah, man.
Now it's Papa Tekkers. Arteta.
He's still an uncle for me, bro. He has to win 3 Premier Leagues to be Papa, bro.
To be Papa, yeah, true.
And 7 FA Cups. So he's got 1. So he's got 6 to go and 3 Premier Leagues, man.
Well, if he signs that lifetime contract, who knows? Good to see you. It's a good one.
Take it easy, man.
Peace.
Don't dream about Michael Oliver.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.